Incoming transmission.
Hello, this is Matt and McKinley from History Dispatches.
We are the father-son duo bringing you the weird, the wild, the wacky, and the craziest tales from across time.
From the Ice Bowl
to the Great Heathen Army.
And the head of Oliver Cromwell.
The same head they kept on a pike for 3 years?
Yep, all here on History Dispatches.
New episodes every weekday.
Find out more at historydispatches.com or wherever you get your podcast app.
Welcome to Fun Facts Daily, your source for just the good stuff. Monday through Friday, we're bringing fun facts and news you can use, all carefully curated to uplift and inform. So give yourself a break, relax, and learn something awesome in just a few minutes every day. Hi everyone, I'm your host Kyle Wood. Now today, history is being made as Catholic cardinals around the world begin the process of selecting a new pope. It seems only fitting to make an episode sharing fun facts and some interesting information about the papacy and popes from history. So today we'll be learning about the Catholic Pope, a figure of global spiritual leadership with a rich history. But before we get into the facts, let's warm up our brains with a little challenge to see if you can tell truth from fiction. Consider this. The Pope is the head of the church, and because there is nobody above him on earth, nobody is allowed to disagree with him. He's considered infallible, meaning that everything he says and every decision he makes is automatically correct. It seems like an amazing perk for the job, but is it true? Is the Pope really considered infallible and automatically correct in everything he says or does? Take some time to think about it. I'll reveal the truth at the end of this episode. Now, on to our word of the day, conclave. Conclave comes from the Latin cum clavis, meaning with a key. It refers to the private meeting of the College of Cardinals locked away from the outside world for the specific purpose of electing a new pope. The term highlights the secluded and secure nature of this crucial electoral process, designed to ensure that the cardinals can deliberate and vote freely without external influence or pressure. The practice of secluding the electors dates back to the 13th century, instituted to prevent prolonged deadlocks in papal elections. Now for today's high five, our top 5 fun facts about the Catholic Pope. Number 1. The process of electing a new pope is a centuries-old tradition involving secret ballots and smoke signals, all taking place beneath Michelangelo's breathtaking frescoes in the Sistine Chapel. When a pope dies or resigns, the College of Cardinals gathers in the hallowed Sistine Chapel for the conclave to elect his successor. Imagine the scenes, cardinals casting their votes surrounded by some of the world's most famous art. To be elected pope, a candidate needs a 2/3 majority. The voting is done in secret, with cardinals writing their chosen name on a paper ballot, which is then folded and placed in a chalice. After the votes are counted, the ballots are burned. If no pope is elected, chemicals are added to make the smoke black. When a new pope is successfully elected, the ballots are burned to produce white smoke, joyfully announcing Habemus Papam, meaning we have a pope. Interestingly, for centuries, the smoke from these ballot burnings, along with candle soot, gradually dulled the vibrant colors of Michelangelo's masterpieces on the chapel's ceiling and walls. But a comprehensive cleaning and restoration project completed in the late 20th century painstakingly removed these layers of grime. It revealed that the original colors were far bolder and more luminous than modern art lovers had long believed, offering a stunningly fresh look at the frescoes that serve as the historic backdrop to papal elections. And a little bonus fun fact about the Sistine Chapel ceiling, when Michelangelo was first commissioned for it, the Pope originally asked him to just paint the apostles on the pendentives, the triangular supports at the top of the ceiling. But Michelangelo had a different vision, so he decided to create a sprawling fresco covering the entire ceiling with scenes from the book of Genesis and roughly 300 figures. Now, number 2, the Pope is the head of the smallest independent sovereign state in the world, Vatican City. Vatican City, an enclave within Rome, Italy, covers just about 110 acres. Despite its small size, it has its own flag, anthem, post office, currency, the Vatican euro, and even its own media outlets, including Vatican Radio. As the head of Vatican City State, the Pope has full executive, legislative, and judicial power. This unique status allows the Holy See, the Pope's ecclesiastical jurisdiction, to maintain diplomatic relations with over 180 countries, sending and receiving ambassadors and engaging in international affairs to promote peace and humanitarian efforts. Number 3, one pope, known as the Warrior Pope, personally led armies and commissioned some of the greatest art of the Renaissance to magnify the Church's glory. Pope Julius II, who reigned from 1503 to 1513, was a formidable figure who was more interested in expanding the papal states and papal power than in spiritual matters, often leading his troops into battle himself. He was determined to make Rome the cultural capital of the world and used art as a powerful tool to inspire awe and project the majesty of the Church. It was Julius II who also founded the Pontifical Swiss Guard in 1506, a force that still protects the Pope today. His most famous artistic commissions include hiring Michelangelo to paint the iconic Sistine Chapel ceiling, and tasking Raphael with decorating his personal apartments, now known as the Raphael Rooms in the Vatican. These masterpieces were intended not just for beauty, but to visually assert the power, authority, and divine favor of the papacy, leaving a breathtaking legacy that continues to draw millions. And number 4, technically, this one isn't super fun, but it's wild, and I won't go into the gruesome details. In one of history's most bizarre episodes, a deceased pope was once put on trial by his successor. This macabre event is known as the Cadaver Synod, or Synodus Horrenda, which took place in 897 AD. Pope Stephen VI had his predecessor, Pope Formosus, exhumed. Formosus was then dressed in papal vestments and propped up on a throne in the Basilica St. John Lateran to face charges. Formosus was accused of perjury and of acceding to the papacy illegally. A deacon was appointed to, quote, speak for the deceased pope. Unsurprisingly, Formosus was found guilty. His papal acts were annulled, his vestments were torn off, along with 3 fingers he had used for blessings, and he was thrown into the Tiber River. This grim spectacle was driven by political vendettas and factional strife in Rome at the time, showing that even leaders of the church weren't always above the problems of the world they were living in. Our 5th and final fun fact, a truly fun one, the title Pope itself has simple and affectionate origins, meaning father. The word Pope derives from the Greek word papas, meaning father. In the early centuries of Christianity, papas, or its Latin equivalent, papa, was a term of respect used for bishops and other senior clergy. Over time, particularly in the Western Church, its use became increasingly reserved for the Bishop of Rome as the successor of St. Peter. This title emphasizes the Pope's role as a spiritual father of Catholics worldwide, guiding, teaching, and caring for his spiritual family. It reflects a relationship of spiritual leadership and pastoral care that is central to the papacy, even amidst the more tumultuous periods of its long history. Now for some news you can use. If you're seeking spiritual guidance or curious about theological matters, stick with primary sources as much as possible. Our current information age can seem like a global game of telephone, with commentators picking apart summaries of excerpts of things leaders say. The Pope may seem distant all the way in Rome, but modern popes and other spiritual leaders have worked hard to make the good word accessible to all. Many popes have been multilingual. The late Pope John Paul II was fluent in Polish, Italian, French, German, English, Spanish, Portuguese, and Latin. After the Second Vatican Council in the 1960s, the Church moved away from saying Mass in Latin and opting for more carried out in the vernacular. If you're interested in following the Pope's messages or activities, a great tip is to check out the official Vatican News website or its social media channels. The Vatican has a very active and modern communications arm, VaticanNews.va, that provides information in multiple languages. You can find transcripts of papal audiences, homilies, major encyclicals, or apostolic exhortations. They also post schedules for upcoming events, news about the Pope's activities, and the work of the Holy See. This is the most direct and reliable way to stay informed about what the Pope is saying and doing, offering insights into his priorities and teachings straight from the source, helping you understand the context and significance of his global ministry. And now, the moment you've been waiting for, will finally reveal the truth from that brain teaser at the beginning. Earlier in the episode, I asked you to consider papal infallibility, meaning that everything he says and every decision he makes is automatically free from error. This is a common misconception, but it is a fallacy. The Catholic Church teaches that the Pope is infallible, but only under very specific and rarely invoked conditions. This doctrine of papal infallibility applies only when the Pope, in his official capacity as supreme pastor and teacher of all Christians, formally defines a dogma concerning faith or morals that is to be held by the entire Church. It doesn't mean he's sinless, that his opinions on all subjects are correct, or that his every statement is divinely inspired. It's a protection limited to solemn official teachings on core matters of faith, ensuring the Church's teachings remain true to its foundations. Now, I hope you enjoyed learning about the Catholic Pope with me, and be sure to tune in tomorrow for even more fun facts. Fun Facts Daily is an Airwave Media podcast. It was written, recorded, mixed, and edited by me, Kyle Wood. Thanks for sharing a part of your day with me. Be sure to follow Fun Facts Daily on your favorite podcast app so you can keep the good stuff coming your way every day. And if you like the show, please do me a favor and leave a kind rating, review, or just tell your friends about it.